Let's take a look at the Libra harvest configurations. Go back to the app. So obviously you want to have your field, trucks, destinations, operators as you so choose, and then commodity types associated with the right field. But more importantly, we'll dive into the first part of it is just getting the basics. So the basic configuration will be to go to let's go to our settings, and then within the settings we'll look at our, so I already have my device paired. Go ahead and hit on the gear wheel to bring up those settings. So you see the cart name, you can rename it as you so choose. So if you have a specific make and model of grain cart, you can type that in here and change it. I'm going to hit done. Display rounding, you can change that. The display rounding, the way that that works is the display that you see on the main screen will be impacted by the gradations or the increments. That's display rounding. So it'll be counting to 25s, for example, here. Some of your larger carts work better with 100-pound increments, 50-pound increments. Now the app does try, just so that way you're aware, the app does try to calculate to the nearest pound, but the overall accuracy of the system, on average, without knowing the specifics and a wide generalization, probably a 1% deviation is usually what you can expect without knowing the particulars of certain carts. Certain carts are going to be able to probably get better than that 1%. And then also there's other variables to take into consideration as far as how the cart is being unloaded, if it's on level ground or not, if there's much fluctuation as far as moving, the composition of the cart, the design, a lot of other factors, but overall 1%. So we look at the unload detection. If you want to be the most accurate, you could try to do the manual, but like I said, the actual system tries to get it to the nearest pound. So what you're seeing on the screen isn't necessarily what's actually being recorded. It's going to be more precise. So the unload detection is your best bet to have that enabled. And then the minimum load setup is where it's going to unload. So when you see the weight display, it's always recording on the back side of the app the moment that you pair. But if you look at it on the main screen as you're going up, it's not going to trigger the auto unload detection, but it's just going to keep accumulating, but it's going to be watching. And then let's say if we get to a nice round number of 40,000, let's say, and then we're going to unload that. Once we get to 40,000, and then it starts to see a decline in weight, then it's going to take a look. And then once it gets to 39,000, it's going to then start initializing the unload. And so, and that's going to depend on the progression, how fast it is unloading. So if you're unloading at a pretty good rate, it's going to be taking a look at it, and then you will see it trigger the auto unload detection, and then it'll start to save there. Display smoothing is crucial as well. The display smoothing is crucial because it slows down the weights on the display. So it will count at a slower rate. So if you notice, if a person's trying to just do a simple test just to see if they step on an area of the cart and they do just a sample weighing, you'll see that the weight will count up in the increments, but it'll do it slow. So it might take 10 seconds for it to count up. And that's just a break or a filtering that slows down the weight on the display so that way it behaves more as a constant scale and gives you a smooth weight reading. And it also helps with the auto unload detection. So that's basically your primary settings that you want to have enabled. And we'll continue on with the next category. Thank you.